Good day, friends, and welcome back to Conflicts of the Human Race. Today, I will tell you about the entire story of the Second War of Italian Independence, 1859. Now buckle up as we begin. In the turbulent mid-19th century, Italy was a patchwork of states dominated by the Austrian Empire, which controlled Lombardy, Venetia, and influenced the rest. Count Camillo Cavour, Prime Minister of Piedmont, Sardinia, dreamed of unification under the House of Savoy. Secretly, in 1858 at Plombières, Cavour met Napoleon III of France, forging an alliance. France would aid Sardinia against Austria in exchange for Nice and Savoy. Tensions simmered as Austria, fearing encirclement, demanded Piedmont demobilize. Victor Emmanuel II rallied his people with cries of Italia. Austrian Field Marshal July commanded 200,000 troops across the Mincio River. Spring 1859 saw partial mobilizations, setting the stage for war. Austria blinked first, issuing an ultimatum on April 23, declaring war on April 26 after no reply. The die was cast for a conflict that would reshape Europe. As Austrian troops under July crossed the Ticino River into Piedmont on April 29, 1859, they aimed to crush Sardinia swiftly before French aid arrived. 60,000 Austrians advanced towards Turin, expecting easy victory. Victor Emmanuel II and his 50,000 Piedmontese troops fell back strategically, buying time. King Vittorio Emanuel's stirring speeches ignited national fervor. Meanwhile, Napoleon III mobilized 200,000 elite French troops, landing at Genoa and Marseille. The French emperor, fresh from Crimean triumphs, donned his general's uniform, promising glory. July hesitated at Valenza, missing chances to strike isolated Sardinians. On May 20, at Montebello, General Stadion's Austrians clashed with Faury's French division in fierce fighting amid villages and fields. French bayonets and chassepot rifles prevailed, halting the Austrian momentum. This skirmish bloodied July's nose, foreshadowing greater battles. Reinforcements poured in, French via Alps, Sardinians regrouping. Europe watched breathlessly as the armies converged in Lombardy. By late May, July's caution allowed the Allies to unite. Napoleon III established headquarters at Alessandria, coordinating with Victor Emmanuel. Sardinian cavalry screened movements while French engineers built pontoon bridges. July, misinformed by spies, retreated across the Sesia River, abandoning Lombardy gains. On May 30, Allies crossed the Ticino unopposed, entering enemy territory. Turbigo and Roqueto saw minor clashes, French zouaves in baggy pants charging with élan. July fell back to the Cis River, then towards the Mincio, protecting Verona's quadrilateral fortresses. Napoleon pursued aggressively, his Grande Armée marching 20 miles daily in sweltering heat. Supplies strained, but morale soared with captured Austrian banners. Victor Emmanuel entered Milan triumphantly on June 4. No, Magenta first. As June dawned, Allies closed on Magenta, a key town west of Milan. July split forces, sending mailers to hold the town, unaware of full French strength. Scouts reported dust clouds of marching legions. June 4, 1859, the Battle of Magenta erupts. July believed Allies weak, detaching corps to Peschiera. 60,000 Austrians held Magenta's canals and bridges against MacMahon's 30,000 French racing from Turbigo. Morning fog cloaked the Naviglio Grand Canal. Austrians repulsed initial probes. Midday, French Marines stormed bridges under canister fire, zouaves scaling walls in hand-to-hand fury. Napoleon arrived, ordering all-out assault. By evening, after 5 hours of carnage, 16,000 casualties, French seized Magenta. MacMahon's JN Aria says, rallied troops. Austrians withdrew in disorder towards Lodi. Milan erupted in joy, expelling Austrian viceroy. Victor Emmanuel hailed Napoleon as liberator. This Pyrrhic victory boosted Allied prestige, but exposed French command flaws. July sacked. No, he retreated to Verona. Emperor Franz Joseph rushed from Vienna, taking personal command. The road to Vienna seemed open, but Solferino loomed. Post-Magenta euphoria swept Italy. On June 8, Napoleon and Victor Emmanuel entered Milan amid delirious crowds waving tricolors. Opera houses sang praises. Austrian rule crumbled. Allies pushed east, crossing Udder River, skirmishing at Melignano. July dug in behind Mincio at Pozzolengo. Napoleon eyed Mantua's fortress, but chose maneuver. By June 23, 150,000 Allies faced 130,000 Austrians near Lake Garda. Franz Joseph, young and resolute, vowed to fight. Scouting clashes presaged bloodbath. June 24 dawned stormy. Allies advanced blindly into San Martino Heights. Piedmontese under Chalais assaulted Austrian left, suffering heavily. French columns under Faury and Barangay de Hilliers stumbled into Medal fog. Sudden encounter. Artillery thundered across Gaidizolo Plain. Chaos reigned as armies collided unplanned. The Battle of Solferino, June 24, 1859, became history's bloodiest day pre-Crimea myths. 300,000 men clashed across 10-mile front from San Martino to Solferino village. Piedmontese stormed Custoza Heights at dawn, Chabot's Bersagliere capturing towers amid volleys. Franz Joseph watched from above. French right under MacMahon seized Volta, but centre bogged in wheatfields. Austrians in black and yellow held tenaciously. Noon, savage fighting for Solferino church and castle. Zouaves and grenadiers bayonet-charged barricades. Cavalry sabred infantry. 40,000 casualties mounted, limbs severed by Minié balls, fields soaked red. Napoleon, witnessing slaughter from Tower, despaired. By dusk, Allies prevailed. Piedmontese took San Martino, French Solferino. Austrians retreated across Mincio, morale shattered. Franz Joseph wept for fallen comrades. Solferino's climax raged into afternoon inferno. French assault on Solferino village. Streets choked with dead, houses aflame. General Kazorks fell leading charges. Austrian artillery from Ras Hill pulverized attackers, but French 12-pounders replied thunderously. Hand-to-hand in caverns of bodies. Lancers impaled foes. Napoleon III, chain-smoking, shifted reserves, committing guards. By 4 p.m., tricolor atop Solferino spire signaled triumph. Simultaneously at Casa Moreno, Sardinians and Austrians grappled in Orchard Hell. Prince Umberto, future king, bloodied but victorious. Dusk fell on panorama of agony, surgeons overwhelmed, peasants aiding wounded. Henry Dunant, Swiss witness horrified, later founded Red Cross. Casualties: Allies 17,000, Austrians 22,000. Exhausted victors camped amid moans. Victory at Solferino opened Veneto, but Napoleon hesitated. Reports exaggerated Prussian threats from Rhine. Russian meddling loomed. French army mauled, faced supply woes in hostile terrain. On June 25, Napoleon proposed armistice via telegram to Franz Joseph, who refused initially. Allies crossed Mincio July 5, skirmishing at Volta. Desperate Austrians counterattacked unsuccessfully. Napoleon, fearing isolation, sent Berthier to Vienna. July 11, Villafranca, Napoleon and Franz Joseph agreed ceasefire. Lombardy ceded to Sardinia, but Venetia stayed Austrian. Victor Emmanuel stunned, Cavour resigned in fury. Italy betrayed. Napoleon claimed peace prevented wider war. The armistice shocked allies. Victor Emmanuel reluctantly agreed, wary of French ambitions. Plebiscites in Lombardy voted overwhelmingly for Sardinia. Treaty of Zurich, November 1859, formalized. Austria evacuated Lombardy, but confirmed in Venetia. Napoleon annexed Savoynice, angering patriots. Garibaldi raged, plotting revenge. Yet seed sown, Parma, Modena, Tuscany voted union with Sardinia. Central Italy unified under Savoy. Cavour returned, maneuvering towards Rome. Austria weakened, prestige lost. Franz Joseph reformed army under Benedek. Prussia noted French vulnerabilities, eyeing 1866. Italian Risorgimento accelerated. Amid war's diplomacy, horrors inspired humanity. Henry Dunant at Solferino saw unchecked suffering, wounded untended for days, dying in agony. His Souvenir de Solferino, 1862, urged neutral aid societies. Led to 1864 Geneva Convention, Red Cross birth. Battlefield medicine advanced. Ambulances, triage. Rifled muskets like Lawrence and Minier inflicted gruesome wounds. Tactics shifted from columns to skirmish lines. Napoleon pioneered rail logistics, telegraph command. Yet personal valor defined. MacMahon's dash, Victor Emmanuel's exposure. War's 30,000 dead accelerated nationalism. Flashback to war's spark. Orsini assassination attempt on Napoleon, 1858, hardened his Italian stance. Cavour provoked Austria via press maneuvers. British neutrality aided allies morally. Sea battles minor. French squadron blockaded Venice. Naval battle of Lissa, later. Volunteers flocked. Polish lancers, Italian legion. Women like Princess Clotilda aided nursing. Economic strain. Austria borrowed heavily. Piedmont taxes soared. Propaganda. French caricatures mocked July's retreats. Magenta details. Irish Papal Battalion fought Austrians valiantly. French Foreign Legion charged bridges. Nightfall assaults by torchlight. Looters stripped dead. Campfires lit victory dances. Milanese opened gates, provisioning allies. July court-martialed later. Franz Joseph's train rushed south, arriving post-Solferino. Solferino tactics. Austrians used reverse-slope defense effectively initially. French artillery dual silence batteries. Cavalry charges. Austrian uhlans routed by horse artillery. Medical stations overflowed. Chloroform scarce. Post-battle ravens feasted. Allies buried foes honorably. Diplomatic fallout. Russia backed France. Prussia mobilized 400,000, deterring Napoleon. UK protested annexations. Italian public outcry forced plebiscites. Cavour's genius. Isolated Austria gained France. Military innovations. Enfield rifles, Paixhan's guns. Uniforms. French capes, Austrian shakos. Terrain. Po Valley mud, Garda winds. Weather. Magenta fog/rain, Solferino storm. Heroes. General Lammermoor's stand, Neil's wounds. Villains. July's timidity. Legacy. Paved 1860 Garibaldi expedition. 1866 Veneto War. Economic impact. Railroads key. French trains delivered troops. Bourse fluctuated with battles. Post-war, Italy industrialized slowly. Cultural echo. Verdi operas celebrated Risorgimento. Va Pensiero anthem. Paintings immortalized battles. Long-term. Austria declined. Italy born 1861. Napoleon fell 1870. Cavour died 1861. Vision realized. Thus concluded the Second War of Italian Independence, a crucible forging modern Italy from Austrian ashes. From diplomatic intrigue to Solferino slaughter, it exemplified 19th century warfare's brutality and nationalism's fire. France gained territory, Sardinia, Lombardy, Austria humiliation, yet all changed forever. The Risorgimento marched on, culminating in unity. If you liked today's story, make sure to check out our other videos on our channel. Have a nice day.